intro music. Yeah! Woo!
Hey everybody, welcome back. Look, I want to talk about something that I haven't in a while, and I actually haven't made one of these videos in a while. And there's a reason for that, but let's cover it. Today I want to talk about the amalgam and the ways that it needs to be added to. Now, why I say added to, I'm not trying to add a new loop in the game, but what I am trying to say is the original amalgam launch actually had a fantastic idea and a nice loop that could provide things that were of value, like these right here, the reputation exocomp bonuses, which I do really like, honor guard wharf charge, which I do feel was quite stingy, and then more importantly this, which is going to be the highlight of today's video, the ship skin shard trackers. Now, why do I care about this? Well, simple answer is I want more players to have access to things that have been out for a while, and there are already systems in game that would allow you to do that. And many of you are going, well, Rev, why the heck would they care? We don't think they care. They don't listen. Why would they upgrade it? Well, look, I'm being honest. Obviously, I have been critical of Scopely in this game a lot. That doesn't mean there aren't things I enjoy, nor do I want to ignore the truth is that there are things they'll listen to and things that they'll add to. A great example is recently. Now, before anybody says anything on this video, because I already know what's about to happen, I'm about to mention a feature that many of you are about to call DOA, and that's okay. I called it DOA. Promised, adjustments. We'll see what they look like. But the idea behind what you just got is in conjunction, in addition, in addendum, etc., who we've actually been getting, which is free-to-play sourcing for primes. We have seen consistent additions to free-to-play sourcings to primes this year. Not only did you start with Dolomite that we saw field training really open the door for, then we saw more through different loops like Export, X31. We've also had other drips added. There's a lot of primes that have been getting added free-to-play that are older. That's a fantastic thing. Look, I'm sorry, I can't say everything about this game is negative when they do listen to some things. Now, I'm not going to try to take sole credit for it. I do appreciate people like DJ who have talked about me being a pioneer for making these. I also want to give a shout out to people like Silvus in our official Discord who worked really hard to, have these, and I've been really hammering on it for years. But it's not just me. The game is recognizing what players need and want, which is that everything should have a free-to-play source, and I'm glad more and more things are getting added. Because remember, it's not just these two that got added. There's also others, depending on the league that you're in. But we've seen primes get added to the game based on player feedback. So we know some things can change. And hopefully this video, as other videos I've done in the past, can be a launching point, a stepping stone, or whatever you want to call it, where the players get together and agree, hey, this is a piece of content that we like, but it needs to be updated because it has gotten very dated. And I think the amalgam is that. That isn't to say that the amalgam hasn't had some attention every now and then. For example, there are a couple of exocomps, but also a couple of forbidden technologies that have been added that you can improve the amalgam's overall ability. There's actually a fleet commander ability that does that. If you look at Sloan, who's a relatively new fleet commander, obviously I feel like we're pretty due for another fleet commander to come in, to be honest with you, but we haven't had an event in forever. But if you remember the skill tree, he's got the ability that improves the amalgam, which is the combat scavenger ability improvement right here. No stone unturned, improving that. So the amalgam has got slight updates, but what has not been touched is the actual refinery and the officer turn-in itself. So you go to the amalgam tab. This is still the exact same layout that we had when it came out, which I'll be honest, I liked it. Now, I did argue that it took way too long to upgrade some of these things or to unlock them, and I still hold that true. But amalgam cloaking, you've got 3 projectiles and 4 skins. One caveat I want to add real quick, Scopely, please, when I actually have unlocked something, remove it from here so I don't see it. For example, I have this skin. I can still spend on this skin. Please remove that ability. But I do think this needs to be updated with a lot of things that have been added to the game that don't have primary sourcing and that have been out a while. Look, I get it. I'm not saying I like it, but at the end of the day, chat, community, this is a business. We're here for a video game. They're here to make money. It is what it is. I understand that, and truthfully, I'm not trying to say they shouldn't. But when you've had something that's content-wise that's been out a while, and I mean a while, and yeah, I'm playing with the size adjustments. This is fun. I think that they should get a path, just like the primes that I talked about. And I give credit to Scopely for doing that. Now we have a bunch of refits that need the same treatment. So 2 things that I would like to see happen with the amalgam. I'd like, number 1, see the refinery have things added to it. I'm going to cover those things here in a second. And number 2, I would like to see that the actual officer turn-in, or the menu for the officer turn-in, add or multiply the amount of ship skin shard trackers that are available in the game. So let's cover some of the things that I think that should get added. I understand that there are things that are relatively new, you know, like these gold skins for some of the G6 ships. I get that those are newer things, but there are also older things that also could use some sourcing. For example, Mantis, that's been out a while. Fisha skins, been out a while and constantly being asked for by the players, by the way, both the glass and the salvager skin. You look at the Jemadar skin, look at the green skin, look at the, what I think is a beautiful Valdor Cardassian skin. They need some type of sourcing long term, especially because the need or the desire to really purchase into them is kind of gone. Now, you'd still leave those packs available, Scopely. I'm not saying get rid of packs entirely. I would never say that. I mean, it'd be ridiculous. But leave the $100 option there, but allow us to start free-to-play grinding content that's a year, 2 years, etc. old. Little things like the battle-scarred USS Enterprise D. Well, a lot of us, look, I love people who play this game. I love playing this game. If you've been playing this game 6 years free-to-play, you don't have this, right? The highest pure free-to-play in the game that I have hunted down is a level 59. They have no extra builder. They have no extra researcher, etc. They, I think, won one free battle pass from a content creator. But the username is James Bond. We can talk about them in the Discord. I've been meaning to interview them and interview a couple other free-to-plays. So even that, you know, long-term, 6 years into the game, essentially, don't have the Enterprise D. Well, I mean, this is a free skin that was given out when the next generation first launched and then never seen from again, that gives a skin to the Enterprise A and the original Enterprise to give you that damaged look. That's how I got mine, by the way, from the Battle Pass all those years ago. But if you didn't get it, well, you can't. Also, things like the Infinitus skin. I know it is sourced through the Borg event that we actually just had between arcs, but it'd be nice to have additional sourcing. All these are things, especially as they get older, would be nice to have available through a sourcing method that is put in one location. Now, I know some of these do have multiple locations, but truthfully, it'd be nice to have everything condensed in one spot and one currency for us to go after, just to make things easier. And I'm not asking for the brand new ones that have been out for only, say, 6 months to a year to get added, but you can see in here, we have a lot that have needed to get added for a long time. I'll give you some more examples. The Triskelion Torpedo, the Borg Cannon, the Cardassian Disruptor, those are pretty old at this point. The newer ones will be things like the Echo Beam and the Apex Pulse. What about the Cryonic Blast? This was a Christmas edition thing that was given out, and it's just snowflakes, which actually looks really neat getting fired. What about the Polaron Beam? I mean, that's not that old, but still, BC's 8472 beam, it's kind of been out for a while. It's not like the bonuses are that great. Again, little things. I think that more cloaking should get added into that store, though having it in both the faction store and the Amalgam store would be actually a great way to speed up acquisition of cloaking. Maybe even some of the cloaks that aren't readily available or as easily available as other things. And then the ship abilities, that's kind of a unique one because it's based on a different currency in a different building, but maybe even throw those in as well. I think the Amalgam needs an update. Not only does the Amalgam itself need an update, which I haven't even talked about yet, but the refinery itself and how you actually go through the option menu, that needs to be boosted, provided with more things that provide sourcing for a lot of items that are older here in the game. And I'll be honest, I do think that an Amalgam 2.0 is actually needed. Why? Because in today's game, even during incursions, simply not pulling as much. As a raider, we ran into this. The whole reason the Amalgam was created was to make it to where we were actually getting enough from our raids for it to be worthwhile. Well, as the game has continued to age, that point's kind of been lost. I mean, you realistically can't get what you need here. You're doing it for fun. You're doing it for event scoring. It's okay, but you're not doing it to actually get what you need, which was the point of bringing out the Amalgam to revitalize base rating. Well, we need an Amalgam 2.0 to do that again. As you get higher and higher level, for you to get the amount of titanium you need, dilithium for research, par steel for upgrading buildings, honestly, the Amalgam doesn't do it for you anymore. Unless you manage to find, I don't know, a HRM Moose who decided at level 64 he was going to leave his shield down, somebody cracked it, and maybe he had a few quadrillion resources, so you actually got enough to, be worth your time. But if you're out there just raiding a base that's got a few trillion on it, you're honestly not getting enough bang for your buck. It's not really worth it. So I think Amalgam as a whole needs an update, and I'm curious if the community agrees as well. Even if you are a non-raider, you still probably would like having the loop for things like the ship skin shards, the projectiles, etc., which add to the gameplay. And unlocking things that have been out for a while that need a path are always things that hopefully you support, because I definitely do. Let me know in the comment section down below, and hopefully this can be that springboard to really encourage Scopa to take back a look at this piece of content give a little bit of update. Let me know what you think down below. As always, live long and plunder. Stay safe for the Space Cowboys. Deuces, that's me. And Northcut, coming soon. Maybe.
An even better outro than the intro for the Empire.